Rome, with critical national elections only months away, anxiety is building that Italy will be the next target of a destabilizing campaign of fake news and propaganda, prompting the leader of the country's governing party to call on Facebook and other social media companies to police their platforms. "We ask the social networks, and especially Facebook, to help us have a clean electoral campaign," Matteo Renzi, the leader of the Democratic Party, said in an interview on Thursday. "The quality of the democracy in Italy today depends on a response to these issues. In a global atmosphere already thick with suspicion of Russian meddling in elections in the United States, France, and Germany, as well as in the British referendum to leave the European Union and the Catalan independence movement in Spain, many analysts consider Italy to be the weak link in an increasingly vulnerable European Union. No one in Italy is more worried than the governing Democratic Party. In recent days, its members have made an orchestrated attempt to focus the attention of the country and of powerful social media platforms like Facebook on a misinformation campaign that they believe is designed to damage one of the last major center-left governments standing in Europe. Mr. Renzi, a wily political operator who partly blames online misinformation campaigns and fake news for the failure of a referendum that forced his resignation in December, is not only seeking to protect himself, but also to go on the offensive. Mr. Renzi is making the issue central to his own Facebook posts and a conference he will kick off in Florence on Friday evening to call attention to the issue. This week, government officials publicly denounced pictures on websites supportive of the Five Star Movement, a web-savvy anti-establishment party, that falsely captioned a government minister's appearance at a funeral to make it seem as though she were mourning Salvatore Riina, the murderous mafia boss. Another video showed Mr. Renzi, a former prime minister who is waging an uphill battle to return to power, at a years-old news conference with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. A false translation of Mr. Putin's Russian made it seem as if he were blaming the Italian government for the national soccer team's failure to qualify for the World Cup this month. Andrea Strappa, a researcher with a company called Ghost Data who advises Mr. Renzi on cybersecurity issues, contributed to a report about fake news that BuzzFeed published this week and that has become one of Mr. Renzi's chief talking points. After the report was published, Facebook shut down the sites, which trafficked in nationalistic and anti-immigrant screeds. Davide Colono, a member of the family that managed the sites, said the content was merely intended to attract clicks in a country fed up with the Democratic Party's government. He called the shuttering of the sites against the freedom of the press and just politics. Facebook representatives have told Italian officials that they are planning to dispatch an Italian task force of fact-checkers to address the fake news problem here before the elections, according to a government official who was present during the negotiations but was not authorized to speak on the record. Facebook declined to comment on Friday about those plans.